can't see it, but I have a rather severe look of disappointment on my face.
This'll turn that tin crown upside down.
Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Heart of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the most successful movie franchise. One of the most recognizable Marvel characters. In his 60 years of existence, he had no AAA standalone video game. That is not a movie tie-in, or VR, or a mobile runner. Even Deadpool got his own video game, which is really good by the way, but that's not a topic for today's video. Isn't that weird? Such an iconic character who got Marvel out of debt has no video game. Well, of course it's weird. For that reason, EA Motive announced development of their own AAA Iron Man game. And you know what? Judging by the success of Dead Space Remake, I trust these guys. I trust that they can create an S-tier legendary superhero video game, just like Insomniac's Spider-Man or Rocksteady's Batman. For that reason, they created a community council consisting of Iron Man and Marvel fans who share their opinions on every stage of the game development, which is totally great. The product becomes legendary when it's made for fans, by fans. But what would constitute the perfect Iron Man game? Well, as a certified Iron Man fan who chose his university major based on his love for Tony Stark, I think I can share my opinion as well. First off, this right here is really important to understand. Seriously, developers should not treat suits just like skins. No. The whole idea of Iron Man works around his suit. His abilities, actions, nature, it's all in the suit. It was acceptable for the Spider-Man and Batman games, but here, no. We shouldn't choose between the suits, we should create the suits. This is really what makes Iron Man, Iron Man. Player should be able to create the suit, take decisions, design it, engineer it. And it's not just the color or stats like speed and damage, no. I need a deep system that will shape my gameplay, the way I fight, move, play. It should be affected by the suit I created and chose to wear. Maybe I will sacrifice the maneuverability and flight speed but get more gunpowder, more weapons. Maybe I want to be really mobile, fast and stealthy. I do not need all these mass and guns. Maybe I need more mass weapons against groups of enemies. Or maybe I need a suit that will be really great underwater for specific mission. Creating different suits for different situations and choosing between them. This is what I need. And this actually works for the character of Tony Stark, because he is the master of adaptation, evolving, so whatever style of gameplay you choose, it will still be Tony Stark. Like, you cannot play stealthy as Kratos, right? But as Tony Stark, your gameplay should be flexible. Secondly, rather than a skill tree, Iron Man's abilities should stem from the gadgets and weaponry incorporated into the suit. So once again, the suit engineering and design should shape the whole gameplay. And trust me, fans would love this decision process, constantly choosing which gadget to sacrifice, calculating the outcomes. This is what every Iron Man fan would love, because we are intelligent, and we don't like when the game tells us how to play. No. We play the game by our rules, the Iron Man way. If you ask me about the visualization and realization of this process, I think it should be like inventory in the Resident Evil series. Here we will not choose only what weapons and gadgets we want to bring to the battle, but also where to store it. On the shoulders, hands, arms, legs, chest or helmet. The only progression throughout the gameplay you should have is that technology shrinks over time. So in late game you can store way more weapons and gadgets inside your suit, because Tony came up with the idea how to decrease the same gunpowder into the 10 times smaller size. What value it brings? Well, each player's walkthrough will be actually unique. Everyone will play the game in their style. Also, one more important note here. There should be no non-attack. It should be banned, because it will make the character too imbalanced, and gameplay won't be that interesting. I want to work with the hardware. What to store where? What kind of metal to choose? Lighter, that will increase the flight speed, or heavier for really strong punches and more armor? I hope that now it's clear. Suit creation should be part of the gameplay, and I wanna take full responsibility for them, not just to choose between the existing ones. Remember when Peter created this suit to fight against Doc Ock? Now imagine if it wasn't a cutscene, but a whole gameplay moment, where you make decisions based on the enemy you are preparing to fight. I understand that it will be hard to make them all look different, but at least just give us the option to have different functionalities, and to paint them the way we prefer. Remember when I said player has to make a decision and decide where to store his weapons? Well, now imagine if in the middle of the battle bad guys damage your, let's say, left arm, and now it doesn't work properly. Weapons from this part of the suit would deal less damage, or imagine getting hit in the helmet. This could cause glitches in the interface, or aiming, or getting hit mid-fight. Now you're flying slower and worse. Of course, it will be hard to actually make a critical damage for the enemies to your suit, but when you get it, the game will actually create a challenge for the player. Now, I imagine how cool that would work and how interconnected these two mechanics are. First, you choose the feeling for your suit and how to feel it exactly, and then your whole gameplay works around it. Flight, the most interesting part, because flying will take almost 60% of the gameplay, just like swinging in Spider-Man. Therefore, it should be perfect. Just like Insomniac reinvented the swinging mechanic and made it so enjoyable and fun, EA Motive has to come up with something unique, and to achieve this, I believe that they have to create two illusions. Illusion of the air drag. Flying in the suit should feel like piloting the military jet. I wanna practically feel the air blowing up on my face through the screen. And secondly, illusion of the acceleration and velocity. Iron Man can reach supersonic speed, getting insane acceleration, and the player should deserve the speed to get the maximum satisfaction. Also, it's important to understand that Iron Man is no plane or helicopter. He can fly in any configuration and direction, not just forward, left and right, but up and down, from any position and pose. I hope that EA Motive will treat the flight mechanic correctly. And this is a really hard job, because you cannot just copy flight mechanics from GTA and make it feel like a jetpack. No. Iron Man is his own thing, and his flight gameplay should also feel unique. Honestly, this is the hardest part, because firstly, in order to be perfect, this game have to compete with giants like Marvel Spider-Man and Batman Arkham City. And these games have 10 out of 10 storylines. Ryan North has a big responsibility on his shoulders. But hey, let's help this guy. What Iron Man stories get the most response among community? Right, the most personal ones. In the MCU, him being cursed by knowledge, constantly wanting to protect the Earth. This guy literally carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. And well, protecting Earth is his personal responsibility. Or in the comics, Demon in the Bottle. Personal problems of Tony Stark is always a hot topic. And I have one idea. Remember the hype of Iron Man 3 before it released? This moment of Tony Stark doxing himself.
Here's my home address. 10880 Malibu Point, 90265. I'll leave the door unlocked.
Getting the mansion blown up, publicly announcing that he declares war on Mandarin.
So I've decided that you just died, pal. I'm gonna come get the body. There's no politics here, it's just good old-fashioned revenge.
Well, I imagine if this whole feeling, this hype is part of the game. In other words, give us the right version of Iron Man 3. And the main villain is not necessarily Mandarin, but it needs to have the same tension level. We need someone who could challenge Tony Stark, his IQ, tech, reputation. And honestly, it doesn't matter which character do you choose as the main villain, because most of his enemies are kinda alike and you can just interchange them. So as long as you have the correct plot with menacing supervillain, that's already great. To be honest, I don't want to see big Marvel villains in the first game already. So no Mandarin, no Doctor Doom or Ultron. I think Ryan North here should do the James Gunn move of taking some really underground, no-name villain and make him his own thing. Not bound with the canon story, but still creating a big menace from this villain. Well, this one is really easy. 2 words: West Coast. That's it. Rocksteady and Insomniac gave us heavy New York and Gotham. Iron Man needs sunny, chill California. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Vegas. This setting works perfectly for Iron Man. So yeah, GTA 5 type map is already great. And one more requirement for the open world activities. I know developers right now love that, but please, no grinding, no collectible items. At least, if you do that, give it interesting context. Also, you know how Batman Arkham Knight side missions worked, like in each you had some iconic Batman villain with good storyline. I think, since we're in Marvel now, you could do something like that but with Marvel heroes. Give us side missions that are team-ups with different Avengers, one storyline with Captain America, mission with Black Widow. I think fans will love that. Iron Man's villains are not that iconic, but his friends are. Tony Stark is a dynamic character. His origin, his story, his lore, it all changed depending on the time and reality of our world. So I don't want Motive to just copy RDJ. At his core, Tony Stark should always be the same. Charismatic billionaire who always finds a solution and way to win. So they should always be the same. But this time, make Tony real. Make him a bit more relatable, closer to the people. Show more emotions, take a deeper dive into his inner world, traumas, his fears. Reconstruct the character. Show us what MCU didn't show. You know how Batman in the recent movie became more real? And now every male on the planet thinks he's Batman? Motive has to do the same with Iron Man. Reconstruct the character. Don't change him drastically, reconstruct him. Take something about him that works the best and make it relatable. Create some weakness for him, make him vulnerable, human, ordinary man who just wants to be a hero protecting our planet. Great plot that is basically the correct version of Iron Man 3. Awesome, intense dynamic gameplay that is unique to your game style. Sunny and warm open world with Marvel cameos and the character we already loved 10 years ago. I think this is a formula for the perfect Iron Man game. Well, nothing in the world is perfect, but hey, you gotta stay positive and believe that developers will do everything to deliver us the best possible product. Right now, the game is in the early stage of development, so maybe if someone from Motive will see this video, they will implement some of the mechanics. And feel free to comment what you wanna see in this game. Maybe this mysterious EA Motive worker will see your ideas and make your dreams come true. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, be a goldfish, be curious, and not judgmental.